gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Ladders Down After Dark, special Halloween edition, where, well, as you can see, Fshsuit got a little bit shorter. Fshsuit lost a few inches off the top of the dome, and Waffle Cone has turned into a Care Bear. This is the Ladders Down After Dark podcast by streamers for streamers, where we tackle everyday talking points with crude humor and poor Halloween costumes. We're going to start off the episode with some introductions in case there's anybody that does not know all of us. And as we go through, I need your real names and then your Halloween costumes just in case we don't get it. Let's start off with the fearless leader, per the usual, all the way at the end.
What's going on, Ladders Down? It's me, your Fshsuit. I am, of course, opposite Mario, I think is the correct term for this costume. Actually, on Amazon, this costume was just like yellow plumber to not violate any copyright. I am, of course, Wario, and you can find me at twitch.tv/FSHSUIT. And then we'll head right over to also.
Hi, I'm Gamer Heroin, also currently your friendly neighborhood Fshsuit. I even have a beautiful shoe as full of whiskey. How you doing tonight? Onto Waffle.
No, wait, no, this can't be the whole podcast.
I feel like you should be able to talk.
That's
a bunch of garbage. What a bunch of garbage.
Oh my lord. Wow. I guess he's just gonna be the silent comedic relief.
Can you tell, like, I guess it's horizontal. Can you tell who's who?
Well, it's working its way over from the left. Yeah, it totally works. Do you want to say anything, Waffle Heroin?
Well, Waffle, Gamer Heroin can talk. I guarantee it.
No, he's doing the impression of your first clip.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
All right, well,
guys, this might sound weird, but I've never found Gamer Heroin more attractive than I do right
I keep taking myself out.
She mentioned that she made a very good-looking man.
Yeah, I'm a damn good-looking man. I had no idea.
I mean, why is GH so pretty? It even applies right now. Right now. Well, I don't know if Waffle's
really
I don't know if Waffle's gonna say anything. So, my name is No Dice, and my costume is world-renowned Rocket League expert Rocket P. Johnson. If you've never seen Rocket
What's the P
Johnson,
stand for?
Fucking with a PH. You didn't know that?
Oh my god.
I did not know that. You learn something new every single day.
Yep, Rocket P. Johnson is my stepbrother who shows up on stream every once in a while. He only plays Rocket League. So I decided to honor him with an imitation costume.
I have seen Rocket Johnson play PUBG before. I'm just saying.
Nope, wasn't him.
I've seen him play PUBG before.
Nope, wasn't him.
Wow.
So I don't know if Waffle's actually going to talk the entire.
I'm kind of concerned.
Oh my god! It was Waffle Cone the whole time.
It was like an onion of costumes.
So many layers. Waffle, would you like to do your introduction? Oh, his mic's muted.
Oh.
We can't hear you, Waffle. What if he was talking the whole time? What if he was talking the entire time?
All right,
I was talking the whole time. Professionalism went right out the window. I was muting it so no one would hear me on the countdown, and then no one heard me. Rip Aroni. I'm Waffle Cone. I was a puppy dog. I was Gamer Heroin, and now I'm a loser.
His costume is just dad.
I feel like this is like a good moment to point out, like, everybody makes mistakes on stream, everybody, even seasoned veterans of streaming, and everybody starts out muted. Everyone forgets to unmute themselves from breaks. It's like a common thing. You have
Yeah,
to.
it's like a rite of passage, right? To stream for
Yeah.
3 hours with your mic muted. I mean, I say that kind of tongue in cheek, but I think it's kind of true. Is that like everybody has done something like that, or forgot to switch scenes, and you're like, "Did you guys
Right.
see that?" And
And
you're
then,
on your
like, no
welcome
one sees
screen or
anything.
whatever, and nobody can see it. I really do think that's a rite of passage, and you don't learn from those mistakes until they happen. It's like,
And you still don't learn.
but you might, like, the fourth time it happens, you might be like, "Oh, I need to check this,"
Yeah.
or it's sort of like when you train for a new job. It's like some of the stuff on the training list is just it's not going to happen until you actually just get in there and get your hands dirty and make the mistake. But there's plenty of I won't name names here, but there's plenty of our ladders down friends here, including some on this panel who
Hey, it's been a rite of passage for like a year and a half, and as long as it's a right, I'm
You'll
going
get it
to
eventually,
exercise
Waffle
that
Cone.
right.
You'll get it eventually.
That's a bunch of
Something
garbage.
sneaky that I've done is, like, in my intro video, like, I do a bunch of, like, B-roll, and then my very last, like, scene is, like, surrounding my mic. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta unmute this. And then, like, that's my sneaky trick. I can't say that everybody else can find something like that, but if you
This
could find a
is-
way to force yourself to remember.
This brings up an interesting impromptu topic. What's the dumbest thing we've all done during a show? Like the most like logistic mistake. Like we were talking about, like particularly leaving mics muted. I was playing Dead Space 2, and something scary happened, and I panicked and smacked the shit out of my keyboard, which triggered one of my scene changes. And I didn't
Did
notice.
you realize it?
Well,
yeah.
yeah, but it was like a boss fight, right? It was like a really cool
Oh,
part of the game.
no.
And I panicked and just started hitting buttons, and it was just my face in the dark, like, and you're hearing all these explosions, and I'm like, this is amazing! And chat's like, we can't, but I didn't look
Can't see it, bro.
because it was a boss fight.
Aw.
Yeah, a good, like, 5-6 minutes of really good gameplay, just my face, just sweaty and stressed out.
That
Like,
sounds
it
like
was-
quality content, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've forgotten to end my stream before, so after the raid, it'll send everybody who's on PC over. But if you're on mobile, you can basically continue to watch if you don't click the end stream button.
Yep.
Luckily, I didn't do
That's
anything
very
super
important.
embarrassing. I was just kind of like eating pizza.
I was watching it the whole time, Fish.
I
He
know.
was too.
No,
He
the other
was. It's
community
like it's
where-
just embarrassing because. Yeah, you're just like you're in that candid
Mhm.
moment. You don't know actually what you're doing. You're not expecting the camera to be on. So I was just watching the stream, like just shoving pizza in. And I actually that was a great stream, but I ended up deleting that VOD because I was so embarrassed by it.
I wish you wouldn't have. It was awesome. Like I was just sitting there watching Fish just absolutely smash some pizza, and I was like, "Yes, this is awesome."
I would love a video of you just smashing pizza unaware you were being
Oh,
recorded.
It was so good. It was so fun.
Or nugs,
you
just
don't-
smashing nugs, no one looking.
You don't want to watch how me and Fshsuit, like dudes our size, you don't want to watch how we eat.
No,
off
it's
stream.
You mean
no,
dudes
that's
our
why I don't
size?
order it, 'cause I don't like to eat on stream. It's just like
it's visceral. It is. What about you, GH? Biggest
me or-
logistic mistake? No, GH Fshsuit.
Oh,
Let's go with fake GH. What's fake GH? What's your biggest logistical?
Probably what I did today. Let's be honest. That was awesome. The funny thing was, the whole time I was talking, like you guys were kind of quiet. I was like just going with my thing. So you guys were just being really polite and just being totally quiet, even though like he's not saying anything.
During those 2 minutes, Waffle actually like revealed the secret of life and the directions to the fountain of youth. The location
you'll
of
never
Solomon's temple.
it was just a
We'll
constant
never
stream
know.
of F words, that he's never said on stream before.
yeah.
Yes, that's true. That's true. No, I can't think. Like I probably if
The
Fish
fuck
knows
mask,
this.
man, I can't do it.
Here, I'll be like the Handmaid's Tale or whatever that. What's that?
Oh god. What does this
what's
What's
become?
be the fruit, Waffle Cone?
No, Fish would probably agree. Like he knows what mine is. I once as a dare, and afterwards I wish I wouldn't have.
Oh yeah.
I put mayonnaise in my beard.
No,
as
no,
a
no.
dare.
No.
Oh,
It wasn't
Miracle Whip?
mayonnaise. It was
Miracle
Miracle
Whip? Miracle Whip. It was Miracle
Is
Whip.
Miracle
but it-
Whip a mayo?
But,
The jury's
but I
still out.
felt
Let's
so I felt
Don't skip
bad
ahead on our
because,
topics, no dice.
because it was a truth or dare, and I felt like I said dare, and so I felt like I had to be a man of my word And so I did it, and then I was like, why did I do that? That was stupid. But I don't really care. I've done way dumber things in my lifetime. I didn't necessarily put them out there for the internet to see, but that was annoying. But that's probably it for me, honestly.
And just in case you were wondering, that the original clip is deleted, but there's a
Yeah.
clip of me watching that clip that
Yes.
is not deleted.
There is. It's true. It's a true story.
Good. To be honest, like it kind of made me want to gag watching the mayo in the
Yeah.
beard.
It should have. It made me want to gag smelling it.
What about
I think-
EGH slash
I
fish
think
suit
my
slash
most
GH?
slash fish suit slash your neighborhood fish suit slash fish suite. So I'd say my most embarrassing moment you clipped actually and sent to the person that shouldn't have seen it. I will never forget that. So
gosh.
Tuesdays I wear a heartbeat monitor because I play scary games, and there's been a few times that like my heart rate hasn't really done what I thought it would do, and Fshsuit here said, "Imagine Duke McHuge with his shirt off," and my heart rate jumped 50, 60 beats per second. I was so embarrassed I couldn't
It was
stop
up
it, so
over
it kept
120.
rising. It's my number one clip, unfortunately.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
That's hilarious.
So, guys, the big thing that just happened between podcasts was none other than TwitchCon 2018 in San
Yeah.
Jose, California. I was there. Have you guys seen any of the VODs? Did you watch the keynote? What is your awareness of stuff that went on at TwitchCon?
I know Fshsuit have also gone to TwitchCon, and it
Yep.
was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet my best friend Minnie Bulba and Meteor Matt, and I saw Hippo Fartimus, and Book Fairy got like 30,000 bits or 30,000 bits or something. And like I gave out all the shoe as pens. It was real cool.
I gotta say real quick before we go on, I'll answer the TwitchCon question. But you know how on Halloween you can go as like the whole trend of sexy costumes, like sexy nun and sexy devil. GH
Right.
just went as sexy fish suit. Like that's, I just figured it out. Like if you were to buy that in the
True
store, it'd be
story.
like sexy Twitch streamer. Would be
True story.
exactly. It's like fish suit and then amaranth, like right next to each other. Like, I have caught the highlights of TwitchCon. I've watched a couple of panels and kept up with some readings, but I was at work all weekend, so I was not able to keep up with as much as I wanted to. All the announcements as far as new features and things that they're actually doing on Twitch, I'm all clear on and excited about for the most part.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to watch as many panels as I would have liked.
Yeah, that's gonna be my week, I think, is just trying to catch up on stuff that I missed and I was there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But really, I mean, cool experience. I'd recommend it to all you guys. I feel like I maybe didn't like learn a ton, but I also didn't. I just wasn't able to attend as many panels as I would have liked. But I definitely am coming back hungry, more focused. I think. I assumed that there was going to be more networking opportunities, but I think that really you make those opportunities, and I personally am not very good at making those opportunities. I was saying in my stream earlier tonight that I always feel like if I'm gonna go up to somebody, it's like I would be bothering them. Like if you know what I mean. Like I feel like everybody just is like me and kind of just wants to be left alone in public. But to have seen, because I spent a big portion of the time with Geeksay as well, who's there, and he just has that kind of gift of gab. He'll just walk up to absolutely anybody and introduce himself. And, he's just able to kind of do that. And that's not a skill set that I really have. But I think that TwitchCon is definitely focused on partners. If you're partnered with a site, they do a lot of extra stuff for partners. There's special things for partners. And I think that there's probably even more of a networking opportunity for partners that is more organic, I think, than just like going up and being like, hey, here's my card. This is, I stream on this site. But the expo floor, I don't think that anybody, there's nothing there that I saw that was like, oh, wow, this, besides the keynote address, which had, like you kind of teased No Dice, which is like the multi-stream setup. They have new moderator tools, which I think are going to be really powerful and really good for our mods. And the Twitch Sings, which is pretty neat too, which is, if you guys haven't heard much about that, it's like a karaoke by Twitch for Twitch. It's like a karaoke that you're going to be able to stream. So it sounds like they might have gotten past some of their copyright issues as far as like music goes, and then actually developed this program for Twitch to do karaoke, because it's that's such a cloudy legality around that right now. I think they might have solved some of those issues. But beyond that stuff that Twitch announced, I wouldn't say that there was anything on the expo floor that I was like, oh, mind-blowing new stuff. But definitely to see some of the other things in action. The quest mode was there. I know a couple of us use quest mode. Stream Elements and Stream Labs were both there. They had some games expoed. Huge Fortnite section, obviously. Fortnite had its own building, basically, there, because it's, biggest game on Twitch. And there was a few little games and stuff that I thought were interesting that are coming out. I think a big focus was that you might not get from the panels or from some of the other available VODs was this focus on the extensions. We met a lot of people who were working on extensions, who were pimping their new extension, coming up with new ways for people to interact with the extensions and with the streamer. And so I think like in the next 9 months to a year, we're going to see a lot of those extensions come to fruition. I think we're going to have a lot of really, really cool stuff as streamers that we're going to be able to add as extensions to our stream. But short of that, TwitchCon for me was meeting, like GH said, meeting everybody, in the community, meeting people who have influenced me. Certainly Geeks is on that list. We got to hang out with Mini Bulba the whole time. Like, met Hippo Fartimus. Stratus B was, we were waiting around for that Stratus B meet. So we knew he was there, but it's like there's 50,000 people there. And on the last day we ran into Stratus, and he is just as sweet of a human being as you are thinking in your mind right now. Really, like, I think somebody on Twitch that absolutely every single person on this platform can look up to. Stratus B is that person. But I also met some kind of famous people. I was able to hang out in the partner lounge a bit, and we met some bigger Hearthstone streamers, because that's really, like, as far as big streamers that I know, it's going to be in the Hearthstone section, because that's what brought me to Twitch. Once I started to stream, my focus was on smaller streamers and being part of those communities. But when I first started watching, I think it's probably the case for a lot of us, is like you're watching those big time streamers. So I was able to meet Brian Kibler and Hotform. Hotform was actually the first person I ever watched stream, first person I ever subbed to. So that was really, really, that was a really positive thing. And the last thing I want to say about TwitchCon is that I'm not sure how much into the speedrunning community you guys are, but I'm sure you've at very least heard of AGDQ and SGDQ. It's the speedrun tournaments that they run twice a year. And they had a whole section at TwitchCon this year for the GDQ, the speedruns. And it's really cool because I love those streams, and they're obviously for such great causes. I know they do Doctors Without Borders and children's cancer research. They raise money throughout the week when they do those events. But those events are not something that I probably specifically would have ever traveled to or made those arrangements to go see. But the fact that it was at TwitchCon actually allowed me to go in and see this event that I really like. Has such a positive impact, and it's so fun. So that was really, really nice. And I hope they will continue to maybe do other cons and expos and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, so. The AGDQ weeks, excuse me, the AGDQ weeks are the only weeks I don't stream. I normally take those weeks off because you get to see so many obscure games, stuff that you've never heard of, and then these just weird people. I mean,
Dice, I remember one night you were streaming, you're like, "Oh, we're closing up the Ocarina of Time is about to start."
Last summer they did a 100% Ocarina run. I was like, I'm gonna watch this because it's amazing, dude. Like those weeks, I try to get off like a couple extra days off work. I typically like don't stream unless it's really late at night and I'm not worried about. But like I'll literally tell the community like, "Hey, it's AGDQ week, man. You can hang out with me in Discord chat every single night and watch speedruns with me, but I'm not going to be playing games. I'm going to be watching this event. It's so cool. I think it's awesome."
The theme this year, which I think everybody who's watching this, and certainly all of us here, connect with, was All Together Now. That was the theme of this year, was All Together Now. And I mean, listen, we run ladders down. You know what I mean? So like I have 100% bought into that, and we all have as well. They announced that it was a year of collaboration. They had at their ending ceremony, they talked a lot about that as well. And so, just to connect with other streamers, get a new point of view. That's kind of what Ladders Down is, right? Is just to be able to diversify your content a little bit and see what other people are doing. And so that was cool too, because I feel like we're on the right track with what we're doing here. And it was kind of brought that home quite a bit when they had their closing ceremony. But so yeah, I'm excited about some of the new stuff that Twitch is doing for sure. I think extensions we're gonna like watch the extension list, because that list is gonna grow and grow and grow. And we met so many developers and stuff, like I said, that are working on extensions right now that are gonna change Twitch. Like, I truly believe that.
Fish, I'm curious, did you talk to anybody, or did you hear anyone talking about the transition away from communities to the tags? Like, did they even address that at all?
I didn't. I didn't. I think that I think that Twitch knows that people aren't super happy with the tag system. I think that they know it's not. I also think it's not the final. This is not my final form, right? Like, it's like they're gonna keep changing this around. But no, there really wasn't. I thought there would be at least like, because there's some. I mean, Ladders Down is a very nice sized community, but there are some exceptionally large communities who got dinged hard by this change. Yeah. Worse certainly than, we were just getting our footing, but certainly like established communities with thousands of people streaming in it, that was essentially a stream team.
Right.
Yeah. And everything but name, it was a stream team, and that got dinged hard. And I was surprised that I didn't hear more about that. But also the experience was just like incredibly overwhelming. Like, you're in this building with 50,000 other people, and everybody, like, it's funny because you got your name badge, had your Twitch username on it, and everybody, instead of making eye contact, was just walking around like looking at people's tags, like, we're the people that I know, when looking. But it was just like so overwhelming, Waffle, that like it was almost just like we were all infected by this kind of positivity for the platform in a lot of ways, I think. And so there wasn't a whole lot of like forum for like complaint like that, I feel like.
No Dice, are you okay?
Yeah. No Dice is dying. Or I'm sorry.
The shoe ass cup, man. It's just the
at some point. No, I was just curious about that. I mean, for me, like the biggest thing, ironically, I'm gonna try and watch some of the VODs this week, because like this weekend was like fall festivals. It was like full dad mode this weekend, and then all this week with trick or treat and all the pumpkin patches and stuff like. So that's pretty much what ate up my entire weekend. But the one thing that I was like thoroughly enjoying was like Twitter and Discord, mainly yours. Just like for me to be able to like vicariously see all of you, like everyone that you were able to come together with, and seeing you all together in real life, like I can't even tell you like the smiles that it brought to my face, man. It was so cool being able to see you and Minnie and Geeks and Strat and all these people like hanging out, and just like I could just tell like you guys were just having a blast, and it's so cool that all these like deep, meaningful relationships were formed on Twitch, and then you were able to go and experience that. So if anything, that's what I was able to pull from it this weekend, and it was really, really awesome.
I mean, for sure. It's like funny because some of the people that you've known forever on Twitch. I mean, I've known Mini Bulba for 14 months on Twitch. You just know that. I mean, he came to the con for a reason, right? It's like you just know that you're going to connect with somebody like that in real life too. And it was just seamless. There was 90 seconds of awkwardness when you first meet it, and then it was just like we've been friends for over a year. So it's like you just immediately know that you're going to connect with somebody, and definitely like meeting some other people at the con too that I've talked to just privately on the Discord, and we've played games together and stuff. You just know that you're going to get along, and then to have that experience with everybody, you're just like walking along and you're like, oh hey, like you're meeting people. I was called out by one of the Kakarot, who's I always call him Stratus B's carry. Stratus B is talking to chat. The guys he's playing the game with are winning the game, right? So,
right.
like, we met him and just some people from my community and from others' communities. Gamer Heroin, actually, I don't know if Minnie told you this, but he met, I'm going to forget his name, the guy who, C Sharp Fritz.
Oh yeah, we were talking
Yeah.
about that.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. He must have, C Sharp Fritz must have found you during a, like a coding stream or something, because
Yeah.
I think that he does like coding or game design or something. And every now and then
Yeah.
he'll be on GH's channel and he'll drop like a 45 view auto host on her.
Yeah.
But, we were able to meet him, and I met the Pixel by Pixel Studios.
Oh, cool.
I met him. Very, very nice guy. I felt like very humbled, even though he's got this game that is just like tearing up Twitch right now. It's like very humble, very open to feedback. It was all very new to him still. I think he just started streaming in April because he was just the guy behind the computer coding the game up until the point they started to stream it. And
Right.
very, very nice, humble guy. But you're right, Waffle. It was like, that's the reason you go, right? And all the other stuff is just extra kind of thing. And, for sure.
I mean, I was jealous, not like angry jealous, like totally happy for you jealous. Like I really just wanted to be there hanging out with all you guys. Like
I wish all you guys were there. Like that would have been even better. That's the thing about a big expensive con. It's like you got to take all that time off of work. You got to get the plane ticket. I was lucky enough to where the community had basically in the month of December, when the payout used to be 90 days, was like, here, Fshsuit, you're going to TwitchCon. And so when it was announced, I was, prepared, ready to go. But I will say, and I kind of alluded to it a little bit, is I don't think I would go back until the point where I would have that purple check mark next to my name. It was a great experience.
That's what Nigamir said, word for word, not even kidding you.
That's been the joke. I feel like as a partner, you get more out of it, and I feel like the con is pointed towards you.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that I didn't have an awesome time, and I'm not exhausted in every, like, my body is like an absolute dumpster fire, like my back and my legs, and by day 3, it's like all you can do is like, all right, how long am I gonna have to walk before I can sit down again?
Yeah, that's why I was sending that message
It's gonna take 10
yesterday.
minutes
Like,
to walk over there, and then I'll be able to sit down again.
Yeah.
But really, if anybody wants to pick anybody's brain about some of the nitty gritty and the TwitchCon panels and stuff, I would really recommend that you guys either DM on the Discord. Both of these guys are on the Ladders Down Discord. Meteor Matt or Book Theory, because both those guys spend a lot of times in the panels, and it's going to take me quite a bit to catch up. But if you guys see a panel that you were interested in and wanted to chat about that, I'm sure both of those guys would be open to discussing that. And of course, I neglected to say, but I met Meteor Matt, and he was just as sweet and kind and generous as you think he is on his stream. That's also a cool thing, right? Like, I'm sorry, G, said one more thing.
Sorry.
It's like, just when you see people on stream, sometimes you might think like that it's a bit of a persona, right? A little bit, and in some cases you're right. But man, so many of the people I met are just them. It's just how they are in real life. Stratus is one of them. Meteor Matt's another one. That are just as you think they are. Like, you watch their stream for a reason, right? And that reason is their personalities. And then you meet them and you're like, oh yeah, this is just Stratus B. Like, that's just him. So sorry, GH, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was going to say that EPB has mentioned several times, both today and on his stream, that you can watch the panels, the VODs on Twitch. Like, you can, it's like you never missed anything. You can watch all the panels this weekend if you want to, or even after the stream. So
yeah, that's what I'm going to be spending my week doing. Part of my day off tomorrow is we're going to spend some time catching up on the panels that I missed.
I meant Evil Penguin Bob, not just EPB.
Everybody knows EPB.
Everyone knows EPB.
Podcast.
I'm gonna try to check out as many as I can, but BlizzCon starts Friday, so
yeah, that's right.
That's gonna eat up my my weekend. So whatever I get by then is what I'm gonna get, because classic WoW demo.
No Dice is ready to go.
Ready to go. It's gonna be the most boring content you've ever seen on Twitch. Just me killing boars, just one hit at a time, and I'm gonna be like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever done." I can't wait. I'm very excited. Very excited. Plus all the panels. I'm hoping for some Diablo news and all sorts of good stuff. So, and I got the whole weekend off, so I'm just gonna be like in this chair as long as I can be in this chair.
Heck yeah, man, enjoy it.
Dice, I know you don't play a ton of Hearthstone anymore, but there was quite a lot of, like I said, I met some of the bigger Hearthstone guys, and a lot of those guys are switching over to different games because Hearthstone is
It's so expensive.
faltering hard right now. I think is maybe the most kind way I can say it. But do you, and this kind of goes out to, I know that Waffles played a bunch. Maybe GH will be slightly excluded from this question, but there's a lot of talk that if Blizzard comes out and says the new Hearthstone expansion is these 128 cards and that's it, that might very well be the nail in the coffin for Hearthstone, that they need to do something bigger, change some mechanics, some around some way. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I mean, what are the expansions usually, like 100 and some?
Yeah, it's 128 cards, but they're saying like if they come out and just say this is just another expansion, here you go, here's more cards, that's
without introducing a new mechanic or single player stuff.
Something interesting, yeah, something else, more content.
I don't know. The problems that kept me from playing more Hearthstone are kind of multi-layered. Like, I just don't think. I don't know. Like, for one, the game's expensive because of the new expansion schedule. Like, they're doing an expansion, every 3 months now?
3 months, yeah.
Yeah, that's, and to even get all those cards.
4 months.
Plus, they capped the amount of gold you can make in a day, didn't they?
Yeah, that's been capped for quite a while.
Like,
it's just microtransactions.
It's so expensive to even fill out a collection of the expansion before the next one comes out anymore. That pushed me away. Like, you're introducing too many cards because I can't keep up with your, you know what I mean, with your rate of expansions. But I don't think the game is. I don't know if just the cards would be a problem, but like the game is kind of it is too mechanically shallow in a lot of ways in comparison to like, you know, Magic the Gathering or some of these new card games coming out. Gwent is picking up some speed.
Yep.
The Elder Scrolls Legends from Bethesda is an amazing card game that has more mechanics than Hearthstone. The thing that makes Hearthstone great is because it's really approachable for like first-time TCG players. It's pretty easy to navigate, but the strategy is still kind of deep. But I don't know if like how many more mechanics can you put in that game without actually like adding phases to the turns, like something like Magic has? How much? What kind of mechanics can you add to the game? They've done everything else. Like they've introduced a lot of new mechanics, but it got to the point where like, well, this mechanic is like taunt, but it's different. You know what I mean? Or like this, I don't know even what they would add mechanically. I think the stuff they need to go after is more solo player content because that is unique.
Right.
Like dungeon runs were awesome.
I
think they need to
find the lethal puzzle. I thought was really fun.
I think they need to make more stuff like that alongside the new cards or whatever. But that's the kind of stuff that would keep me coming back to it if I were to still play it. I think that's something unique that Hearthstone has compared to other TCGs is their solo stuff.
What's bringing you back, Waffle Cone? What's bringing you back to Hearthstone?
I kind of agree with that last point from No Dice because you know how much I enjoyed. Like a lot of people probably hated those expansions, honestly, but like I loved the Frozen Throne expansion, and the Kobolds and Catacombs because I loved the Monster Hunt and the dungeon runs. Or no, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of Witchwood and Kobolds. Like I love those two for the solo. Like that was so much fun.
I love
like
Witchwood.
If I just got to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm tired of this meta garbage that I'm dealing with either in ranked or in casual, I'm just going to go play some solo and enjoy this awesome dungeon run. And I've still, like, I can't tell you how many times where I'll just sit down, I want to play some Hearthstone, but I don't want to play the actual card game. I just go in and do, like, a dungeon run and see how cool of a dungeon run I can build. Like, I think either they need to really have, like, a solid solo, something that's a single player aspect that just blows everything that they've done before out of the water, or maybe just like maybe even like a whole new game, like a completely different game style. You know, you've got like arena, you've got tavern brawl, you've got ranked and casual. Maybe try and come up with something that is just brand new, like a whole new game mode that you can play every day. I don't know what it would be. I mean, at this point.
But you also don't work at Blizzard, so it's like it's on them. The oness is on them.
I mean, I've thought of games like, and I haven't played a lot of these, but I've seen some of these. I watched you play one No Dice where it's like it's almost like an arena where you're still playing card games, but it's also kind of like tactics, and it's similar. It's almost like a merging of like Minions Masters and a card game where you're like basically summoning minions that are actually physically going on the board. I forget what the name of that game.
Oh, that was a high res game. That was a
Yeah,
high
yeah.
res game. Yeah, I played that for a few days. It was an interesting idea, but they high resed it into the ground. They
Right.
did that
But
high res thing.
so,
But that was a good.
and
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
even saying something like I'm not even saying that exactly, but that's like something like almost like something like that as an example. Like insert something completely brand new that's a game mode that you can literally play every day and is never been on the game before. I don't know though. I'm totally checked
I
out at
don't
this
know.
point.
Just
I
some
could-
guy from Kentucky.
Hey, come on.
I could tell you one thing that would bring me back to Hearthstone right now, and that's if they made Arena more affordable to be bad at.
Mm.
I think the arena making
I
in
like the
Hearthstone
draft
is one of the
mode as
best
well.
features, but having to pay up 150 gold because I'm a bad drafter. I would play more
Yeah.
of it if I wasn't losing gold every time when I go 2 and 3. I would
Right.
I would play a lot more Hearthstone if I could afford to draft. That
Gamer
would be
Heroin,
one thing for
empty on an
me.
empty board. What do you think the best answer to Giggling Inventor is?
Well,
Obviously,
since I
definitely.
am Fshsuit and I've played Secret Hearthstone both on and off
Jesus
stream,
Christ.
I would definitely say the card to play is.
That sounds great. Gamer Heroin, you want to just talk about RimWorld for like 5 minutes now?
That sounds great. I played 1,000 hours. That's kick ass.
Gamer Heroin, talk about RimWorld 1.0 for 5 minutes.
I mean, it
It's
did finally
beautiful.
release. That's huge.
Yeah, it is huge.
Like that
They
game had
still
a
releasing
huge
things,
following
so-
even in beta, and now that it's like
Yeah.
actually out, like I didn't know it was still in beta until they were
Yeah.
like, it's an official release. I was like, wait,
I mean,
what?
they could have quit the beta a long time ago. It was a full-fledged game a long time ago,
Yeah,
but he
right.
kept working at it, and it's just a masterpiece.
Favorite game of all time?
Yeah. Yeah, there's very few games I put 1,000 hours easy in.
That's a
And
great,
don't get bored
I
of.
enjoy it. That is a good game. I
Yeah,
gotta give gamers some props there. It's a good game.
yeah.
They just
Even
need to
if
make
I'm terrible.
uranium easier to find. Gosh dang it.
Right? Yeah, well, they
So
fixed
I'm
the
gonna-
pyramid system. They
I'm
fixed
gonna-
like so many things. It's beautiful.
I'm going to pivot a little bit to a question that Book Fairy just asked in chat.
Yeah.
Instead of our normal questionnaire here, which we need to go through and really edit this a little bit. But in any case, that's Book Fairy asked, in the long run for your stream, do you think it's smarter to focus on variety or to pick a game and stick with it?
Oh,
And
single
I
game.
I will start first and say that I think that certainly the easier way is to find a game and find a community and build a community around that. However, I will say that personally, I would be with few exceptions or games that I'm super into, because I will say that I've streamed nothing but Minion Masters for like the last week and a half. Just because I'm super hooked on it and that's all I want to play, and so that's what I'm going to play. To me, it's much more fulfilling to run a variety stream because I would be bored to tears. I would be bored to tears if I was sitting and playing the same game every day. And sometimes I'm sure that we've all had this experience where we really love a game. For instance, PUBG. I used to watch a ton of PUBG. I still love to watch games of PUBG play at a high level. I think it's a really fun game to watch. To play so much, not anymore, because the skill level has surpassed me to the point where I'd have to spend countless more hours like getting in and learning the game again. But I think we've all tuned into one of those streams of the game that we love and seen our favorite streamer who made us love the game actively hating the game, right? You can just tell they're hating what they're doing. I've seen it in PUBG. I've certainly seen it in Hearthstone. And I think that any game that somebody's going to play for hundreds of hours, eventually you are going to hate it, right? Like on some level, you're going to be like, I know everything that is broken with this game. And every time I see that thing that's broken, it's going to bother me a little bit more. And I've seen people just like lose their love for the game that they're playing and then change games and then they lose their entire community.
Yeah.
And so for me, variety streaming is a way to say, like, we're here to hang out. What I'm doing here is in a lot of ways secondary to just our community of people that are here. And so that's kind of why I've chosen variety with a caveat that, like, I played nothing but Minion Masters for the last little bit. I'm gonna return and do some variety as well. It's not gonna be the Minion Masters grind every day, but fuck, that's a hard game to put down.
Yeah.
So I think variety is certainly the hard way, but I wouldn't want to do it the other way. I wouldn't want to stick to a game, just not to filibuster here too long. But without naming names, there was a guy who was a Diablo 3 streamer, and he got huge numbers in Diablo 3, had tens of thousands of followers in Diablo 3, 1,000-person streams in Diablo 3 especially when it was in its heyday. And he eventually just got tired of the game. It's just it's going to happen to everybody. And he switched over to Path of Exile. And, we're talking 15, 20, 30-person stream now, maybe. And I don't want my stream to be that. So I would not tie my fortune and fate to a single game. I just don't think that's for me.
So would you say that being a variety streamer makes your community more surrounded by you rather than the games?
Sure. Like me and each other, right? Like it's because it's not just me, and you've said it before, GH, and I will continue to say it forever, is that I'm the facilitator of this community, but I don't make the community. It's everybody else who is there. And so the community can rally around me, sure, but also it's just like going and hanging out with your friends. It's like all your friends are in this stream, and we have all these inside jokes that we share together, and we like this streamer, but also like we like to hang out with each other. And I think a variety stream cultivates that, whereas that main game, people are going to come in and want to talk about that game. I'm coming in because I want to talk about what you're going to do in this situation, and maybe don't connect with each other as much. Whereas a variety stream, this may not be your game. You may hate this game, but you're still going to go and be in the stream because your friends are there.
Yeah.
I don't think they're necessarily mutually exclusive, though. Is that I still have but I still have people in my community who will watch certain types of games and be pretty active in it, and then like if they're not really into the game, maybe I'll get a lurk, you know what I mean? But they're not gonna and then I don't think just because you play a single game, I think the idea of like facilitating your community around each other and just around just the good vibes of being there, I think you could still do that with a single player game. If you like a single player game with a single game, you just have to communicate with people a different way. But I agree with both points. I really do. It does help. My whole stance on the thing is like, yeah, it's going to be a much longer grind doing variety stuff, but there's just too many good games. Like there are some games I could play for thousands of hours, vanilla WoW, but there's too many good ones out there that like you miss out. You're missing out on experiences if you don't play more than one game, because damn, there's some good video games out right now. There's a lot of them. It's worth it being a variety streamer if you're a lover of gaming. In general.
Yeah, I was just a point to that same thing, Dice, is that being a variety streamer is expensive.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah,
being a variety streamer is very expensive. I mean, Waffle, you've gotten a couple new games. You know that popping down that money for the brand new $60 titles.
God of War.
Yeah. So like, I mean, and you also have to approach it from a couple of different angles, like, because Fish is gonna respond to that question a lot more differently than say I am going to, because our end goal kind of is going to vary a little bit different, right? So I think obviously if you want to like really grow as much as you can and make sure it's solid growth, obviously, that's going to be a tough decision, because like you said, Fish, you can build a really strong community by just playing the same game over and over and over again, but eventually you're going to get burnt out. And so many people time after time after time have just seen their community crumble after they stop playing that game. But yeah, man, I mean, good night. Variety, even if you're just doing it for fun. I mean, I get tired of games, so I'm like, I need a new game to play. And it's like, well, I guess I'll finally go spend $60 on God of War. But like, so yeah, it's that more than anything, man. It's funny how expensive it can be. I bought like a bunch of games in like a humble bundle, games bundle, and then the Halloween thing. I was like, I'm buying all this crap now because I need stuff to stream for like the next 4 months.
Yeah, you can always reduce the cost by doing like humble bundles, waiting for Steam sales. There's always ways to get games.
There's Halloween sales up. Halloween sales.
It's
up
good,
right
dude.
I'm just hearing this too. No, Dice. Can we end this podcast a little early so I can, go buy a bunch of...
Go check it out. There's some solid titles on there.
I want to say this too. What happened, Fish, is that my gaming habit used to be expensive. Like, buying new games was expensive. Now, I haven't made any money from my stream, but now my gaming habit's basically paid for.
Free!
Is all that's happened, yeah. I do need to check the Steam sale, though. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Hold on, let me pause this.
GH, I feel like your stream is variety light. Is that fair?
Variety light, yeah. I would say I'm like 30% creative, 30% RimWorld, and then 30% everything else. So there is a great way to balance between buying new games all the time and still playing variety. So I have variety between two major things, creative and RimWorld, and then I still like save up for like summer sales, Halloween sales, I guess. I don't remember that being a thing in the past. Um, I kind of freaked out when it was like 60% of your wish list is on sale. I'm like,
I know. It was
Yes.
awesome.
I will say this is a good. I've seen a lot of people have a lot of success with this. One of the best ways I think you can do variety streaming is variety light, where you play a lot of different games, but they're all the same genre.
yeah, that's true.
Which
Some of
I think GH does do that. GH,
Yeah.
I feel like you play a lot of those kind of like you play a lot of like colony builders or like survival type games.
Yep.
You know, you're really into that's like your niche, and you I feel like you have a ton of people that have been around your stream forever, and I feel like it's because they love those types of games, and they will
Exactly.
never leave now. They are like die hard, and I agree because I'm all over the freaking map. I think
Me
No
too.
Dice has a good point there. Like one day I'll be playing garbage Dark Train for 45 minutes, and then the next day I'll be like playing a first person shooter competitive game. It's like they're totally
Yeah.
different games.
I've tried to
So-
focus before. Like my favorite genres are like open world RPGs and action RPGs, like hack and slashes. And I was like, man, maybe if I could just be like a hack and slash player, like maybe I could just switch between like Diablo 3 and Path of Exile and Grim Dawn, and Vulcan's coming out soon, and I could have my niche, and maybe that would. Oh, dude, Black Ops 4 is so fun. I'm gonna play this for 60 hours this week.
Right?
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I agree with you, dude.
Yeah, variety light is a good way to put it. I definitely have met a lot of people that fall into that category, and they have found my stream because I play those games. So variety light is really a good way to think about it. I've never heard of that before. That's awesome.
Neither. I think
Well,
we just
'cause
invented
'cause
it. I'd never heard of it until now. So
people will ask, like, what games do you stream, especially, coming from TwitchCon, what do you stream is a pretty popular question. And I always have called it true variety. I stream true variety. Like, if a game sticks, then we'll play it a bunch, but otherwise we're going to hop around quite a bit, and we'll try all the new games, and we'll try the free to play stuff, and we'll do community stuff. But I would not consider your stream a true variety stream, GH, because
No.
you're very much going back to these, like you said, just three categories. Kind of, you do your horror games, and then you do your RimWorld, or like you said, Waffle Cone, like in that same vein, those games, and then you do your creative streams. So, but yeah, I think that all of us are kind of on the same page as far as like we could not sit
Couldn't do
day
it.
in day out and play the same game.
Won't do
over
it.
and
Couldn't
over
do it.
again. Maybe with the
Yo.
exception of, oh, sorry, go ahead, Dice.
pray for $15. Buying it. Been waiting on this
Holy
one for,
shit, that's
for
a good
years.
$price.
$15. Pray Crypt of the Necrodancers, $3.
I thought you were.
like
I
roguelikes.
thought you were saying.
The fucking
like-
Steam sale, Waffle. I told you, man. I
thought-
told you.
I thought you were saying like pray to the Steam gods. Pray for $15.
No,
I
the
need
game
15
Prey,
bucks.
the Bethesda game, Prey,
Please give me
sci-fi
15
survival
bucks.
horror.
Oh, it's funny. I did not know what you were saying.
Buying it. All right, we
All
can
right,
continue.
I'm gonna switch gears on us. We're gonna take a sharp turn here and talk about
Uh-oh.
something that is definitely not within my or Waffle Cone's wheelhouse.
Uh
So
oh.
you and I, Waffle Cone, we're gonna chill back,
Okay, man. Let's do
Uh-oh.
it.
hang out, while No Dice and GH talk about one of the most difficult parts of streaming, which is
Okay.
getting your audio on point.
Oh shit.
I'm not joking. Like, audio has been a thorn in my side more times than I care to count. Getting the right levels, getting everything balanced, not being able to hear, like, the video. I can look over here and I can see the video, but I can't hear what the stream sounds like. And it's been extremely challenging. It remains challenging. I know, Dice, you have a lot of experience in this. Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about your setup and maybe some common type challenges that people might run into?
Yeah. This is an awkward format for me to do it in because my audio sounds terrible on this stream because I don't have any filters set up in slobs. I don't have all of my usual tricks and things that I have in regular OBS. So my audio sounds terrible. It sounds like a big echo chamber in here. But I will go ahead and talk about it for those of you that have seen the stream. And one of the biggest challenges is that one of the biggest issues is, am I still too quiet, Book Fairy? How about right now? Is this better? One of the biggest issues people have with their audio is they just don't pay attention to it. Most people will like buy a microphone and plug it in and let it go. And again, my audio does not sound good on this stream. But typically it sounds a little bit better when I'm live. There's a couple of basic things. One, you need to watch your VODs. Waffle Cone. You need to watch your VODs so that you can actually hear your audio levels and find a good balance, you know, between microphone, game, music, whatever it might be that's going on in the background. A lot of people think that like a super expensive microphone is just the solution. Like I got to get the Audio-Technica 2020, which is a really popular broadcaster mic. Probably all of you guys have seen. It runs about $400 and it's like the podcast mic. Like it's the one.
It was like 120.
The
120
the Audio-Technica 2020?
Yeah, that's what this is.
That's not an Audio-Technica. Maybe no, it's
AT
not.
2020, yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. I might be thinking of a different microphone. It's got a big foam end on the side. It kind of cones back on the end.
Yeah, this one's supposed to be the equivalent of like a upstep from the Yeti.
Show me the box for that.
Okay.
Right
I
now.
don't think I don't.
on stream.
But regardless, you don't have to spend a whole ton of money on a microphone. Like a couple of $100. This is an AKG P420. This ran me $200 because you're also going to need an XLR interface. It can get expensive, but don't drop $400 on a mic. Don't drop $400 on a mic. As far as tuning in the audio, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. A lot of people will use Banana Voice Meter. I don't do that. I don't have a lot of outboard audio extensions. I just run a mixer into a 2-channel audio interface. I have a Yamaha MG10 mixer that I can use for effects and things like that. Those run through a Roland, so I can do funny things like this. And you just kind of tweak it and mess with it until you get it right. 2 things I would recommend if you don't want to use a bunch of outside extensions. Make sure you put a compressor on your microphone. Put a compressor on your mic in OBS and put a noise filter on it so people can't hear you like cooking away at keys or like breathing too heavily or stuff like that. And you can move those around a little bit. Compressors are huge. Compressors are what will stop you from clipping the mic out whenever you get excited or scream into it or something like that. You can set a threshold for the top end so that it doesn't peak out and clip the microphone. So decent mic, XLR inputs, and a lot of experimentation until you get it right. The room can have an effect as well. You don't have to soundproof with the way that filters work, but some soundproofing on your walls can help. That's why I sound like I'm in a tin can right now. But just getting it right.
Write this down real quick. Hold on.
Yep.
I feel you, Waffle. I definitely
need
feel
this.
You do.
So XLR mics are a great way if you're like willing to put in the effort, willing to put in the input, as No Dice said, to like make your sound fantastic. No offense against USB. Like there is a USB version of AT 2020s. But I accidentally bought the XLR version because I wasn't ready for that investment. And so I spent like 6 months without an audio interface, which Mini Bulba was kind enough to lend me one of his old ones. And that is the other reason I sound okay right now. Otherwise, I could not talk in Discord with this mic. There's a background noise if I use my phantom power, which is a way to provide power to your mic. And I was having to use VST plugins to filter out the really, really high-pitched background noises that were happening at every even interval, which is apparently like a stereotypical like thumbnail or a fingerprint of having just a power supply. So essentially, it was just my mic, power supply, computer, and that sounded terrible. You need an audio interface if you're going to do an XLR setup. However, I know that Fshsuit, I don't know what your thing is, Waffle, but I know at least Fshsuit has just a Yeti mic, and so he doesn't have to worry about audio interfaces. He doesn't have to worry about making sure his mic has enough power. The soundboard that No Dice has is fantastic and can do extra effects. It's a little bit more pricey than probably what the one I'm using is, especially since Mini Bulba was kind enough to lend it to me. I would highly recommend just diving into research, consulting No Dice, and if you can, maybe consult Mini Bulba. They're very much more audio experts than I am, like by 10 times. But
I just know that you struggled with
fucked
it.
up
and
audio.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I just know that you kind of had to teach yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you,
exactly.
You did a lot of work on your own to try to get your sound right.
Yeah.
And then I benefited from that because I was just like, GH, fix my sound, please. And
I
she
should
did.
really like drop a link in the Ladders Down Discord of VST plugins. It's through a program called Reaper, which is a $60 program normally. And these VST plugins are integratable with Slobs and OBS, and they're absolutely free. And you can use these to like cancel out background noise, as No Dice mentioned. They also have their own compression, noise gates, so on, so on, so on. And if you need any help, just ask.
And I just want to clarify that is an AT2020. The microphone I was thinking of was the Shure SM7B. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, no.
Okay, that's like it's a $400 broadcast. It's literally if I had $400 extra, I would go buy one. But you don't need one, so don't drop too much money on a microphone.
I'd also like to say that Voice Meter Banana, I've installed it twice, and I know Fish has had his issues with it as well. It is a very hard to use but free program, and if you plan on tackling it, watch at least 5 YouTube videos and then decide not to.
Yes.
Because inevitably, what happens if you dive into it without knowing it is that all of a sudden you've broken everything. All of a sudden, no outputs are working. You can't figure out why. Your entire computer's just like. You get not, and you're sitting there, and then you uninstall it, and it still doesn't work, and you're in your control panel, like, what the fuck did I do? What did I do? Because that's exactly what happened to me.
And then there's virtual audio cables that are connected with that. I usually find the link to, and I haven't found any use for
This
them.
is why
since
I don't want to mess with any.
I had some experience with virtual audio cables because I used to make electronic music, so I would run virtual cables to like stacks and preamps, but like I still managed to just destroy everything. I had to uninstall it, and I literally had to reset my PC 2 days, like back to default settings. It wouldn't work. I couldn't get to work. I broke everything.
Before I asked how many of us have pop filters, I certainly do. Or
I
else you
do,
can
but
hear
I
my
don't use it.
crippling asthma.
Yeah, this is a pop filter. So there's like 2 main kinds of pop filters. Like there's this like hard metal one that I think both No Dice and I have. I can't tell.
I'm not using one, but I have one of the screen. I have one of the screen ones that I use
So
when I'm
this
like
one
doing
has,
YouTube
like,
stuff.
hair bands essentially on the back. There's also the foam kind. Both work equally well.
And they're
It's
not
just aesthetic.
Yeah, they're not
don't have
completely necessary. Like pop screens, what they do, like from a recording standpoint, is your S's and your P's. They tend to pop and be a little bit stronger to the mic, or they'll hiss if it's an S, or a p can kind of sneak through. And those are really hard to balance when you're doing audio mixing. Pop screens are for like the really high production music stuff. You don't necessarily need to have one.
You're saying when Gamer Heroin gets her 1,000 followers that she should have a filter on there when she beatboxes into the microphone device?
I mean, if you're gonna beatbox, you should use a pop screen just so you don't spit all into your microphone. Yeah,
Right.
So
Got
Yes,
it's not like
this thing has saved
saliva.
so much soup from going into my mic. It's gross.
Yummy. You gotta put it through the dishwasher about once a week.
It's not a pop screen; it's a soup screen. It's a completely different thing.
Byron says, or you can just use the mic attached to my headset.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Whatever
can,
works.
but I mean, if that's all you got,
months.
if that's all you've got, stream with it. But
Exactly.
it's gonna sound like you're talking into a headset mic, which
Yeah, but you can make it sound better with VST plugins. If you feel really limited, you can, with hardware, you can at least expand it, blah, blah, blah. I've had a lot of whiskey. With software. I should really
let's
drop
hear a
that link.
beatbox. Drop me a beat. Fish
No!
Right
Right
it's
now.
1,000
Fishsuit,
followers.
come on,
1,000 followers.
I'll get
Do
you.
it.
I'll spit some hot verses. Come on, I got your lyrics. Just give me something to go with. Come on, I'm waiting.
No.
I'm
Because
still waiting.
nobody else would follow. I have to wait till I get 10,000 followers.
That's all she gets out of it.
It's like a thing. It's already embarrassing.
All right.
If I beatbox first, will you beatbox?
I've had enough
At
whiskey to
1,000
maybe.
followers. GH,
How many-
don't do it.
How many,
Don't fucking
how
do
many
it.
followers away are we? How many are you from 1,000?
I don't know.
100 or so?
Oh,
Yeah, it's less than
yes.
100.
Oh, come
my
on.
guess.
Let's just do it now. Let's just
It'll
do
be
it.
next month.
It's a 900
play-
follower celebration.
Just play Minion Masters during primetime once. Dice knows what I'm talking about.
Hello, random people.
Jesus
Welcome.
Christ.
I'm Gold 5. How are you? I know my name's in the game, and that's why you're here, so welcome.
All right. I'm gonna switch to probably our. We're gonna do one more topic, and then I actually have a little surprise for you guys tonight. So let's talk about one more thing, and then we're all gonna play a fun game together. How does that sound?
Uh-oh.
Which is this idea that, and we've touched on it a little bit before, which is this idea that your stream is your house, right? And you have rules in your house, and I think that all of us have different rules as far as like what we're going to allow and how we interact with those people who are in our house. In our at TwitchCon, Felicia Day called it her little cupcake shop. What she's going to allow in her cupcake shop, and so
Felicia Day was there?
yeah, she was there. She gave a whole talk.
Ironically, she only has muffins.
Book Fairy was fangirling hard.
I would be
guys,
fangirling right next to her.
hard.
Holy shit.
But just this idea that we all have these different rules in our chat, and so maybe we could all talk a little bit about how we govern chat or how we expect our chat to be moderated. Specifically, do we? I don't think any of us here calls out a lurker, because I probably wouldn't watch your stream if you called out a lurker, but certainly I've seen people do it. I've seen people in the Ladders Down community do it. Something I certainly wouldn't recommend, but again, that's your house, and so if that's the way you want to run your house, then you do it.
By the way, I'll call him out. Boom Byron, stop calling me out when I'm lurking. Don't do that to me. Come on.
I feel like
Just
if
let
you're
me-
under 5 viewers,
Just
it's
let me-
really hard not to
Just
call
let
people
me
out.
watch you be awesome at Rocket League.
Right?
Don't call. Come on, man. Come
Let
on.
me watch you
I'll
dunk on some kids.
I'll say
in
hi
Fortnite.
eventually. I'll say hi eventually, Boom Byron.
God damn.
At least he's out there.
Love you,
But
bro.
as far as like self-promotion, like how do you let people edge up to the point where they're talking about their stream? Like that sort of thing goes in some, doesn't go in the other. I allow links in my chat. Like, and No Dice, you said something a while ago that was like, I don't want to say like a backhanded compliment, because I know that you never meant any negative thing by it, but you basically said like, if I want to just go and just be crazy, I go to Fshsuit's channel, because I can just say whatever I want in the chat pretty much, and we're gonna like roll with it. You don't remember saying that?
When did I say that?
It was when we had our first conversation about putting this podcast together. Actually, you had said that, but you were also drinking heavily that night, so you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I took it as a
has the
compliment,
feels.
because I do want the channel to feel like, I mean, certainly with exceptions. I mean, you guys all
Right.
should be well aware of what those exceptions are. But you can come in and just be a goof and be crazy and troll a little bit, and
As
like
long
I
as
want
you're not a cowboy.
that. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, we even let that guy like pretty much troll us for like 30 minutes with that. But in my channel, it's certainly like I don't want people, and I learned this very early on, which is that somebody going to your stream and saying I'm about to stream is really shitty. It's a really shitty thing. To come in and only talk about your stream is a shitty thing, or I just did this for my stream, or this happened on my stream, or can I post a clip from my stream? That's all stuff for another space, not the other person's stream. And so we nip that pretty hard, and I think that everybody who comes in kind of knows that on self-promotion. But I mean, do you guys have anything specific that you would say in your chat that doesn't fly, that might fly somewhere else?
I mean, I
GH?
think we all know I'm a little
Waffle
bit
Cone?
of a dad stream. Like, and I think that's laxed a little bit, but because when I first started, like I knew that my nephews were watching, so and it's not like, for me, it's more what I say and what I do, so it almost like it doesn't even really apply to other people. But it's not really. It's like you have Fshsuit After Dark, and then you have like the matinee Waffle Cone stream, because that's the middle of the day kind of attitude. But
The matinee.
but no, I don't. I think for me, a lot of the same. Just know, like I had somebody in there the other day. They were a brand new person, and I was really, I almost addressed it, and I was like, you know what, like I'm not gonna worry about it today. But they came in and were talking about streaming the game that I was streaming on YouTube, and I was like, well, you're on YouTube, I don't care anyway. So I think a lot of the same. a lot of the same, that's for sure. But I think you have to figure out what that is and kind of walk that line. But I think I enjoy being in all your streams. I like the way that you guys handle every single one of your streams, and I think what No Dice said, even though he didn't remember it, is pretty true to your stream, Fish. For the most part, you'll handle so much, and then you're like, okay, you're gone. Like,
yeah, and everybody reaches that point where it's like that's enough.
Yeah,
I've had enough.
And even though I don't specifically remember the time saying that, I totally understand where I was going with it. Like, I can think of a good example right now. Like, there is a level of friendship between a lot of you and a lot of your viewers that some streams don't have or would be comfortable with. The very first time I watched your stream, Fshsuit, you were talking about one of your viewers' vaginas.
Sure. Totally normal.
And you must have been there on a
You
Monday.
guys were going back and forth about it, and it was totally normal. And I'm like, well, this is an interesting thing. And so that there's nobody in my community I would do that with. Even some of my most faithful, my biggest friends. I mean, except for Richard Booty, we'd probably talk about whatever he wants to talk about. Yeah, absolutely. I hope he's here tonight. So what I was saying is that there's certainly a level of comfort between you and a lot of your viewers that you may not find elsewhere. So if I said go and go crazy, obviously, we all draw the line at hardcore, racist, anything
Certainly.
like that, sort of just social fucking boundaries that we have to put up. The other one for me would just be blatant self-promotion seconds after following the channel. Like, hey man, thanks for the follow. Hey man, can I get more likes on my YouTube page? that literally happened.
Negatory.
Follow, comment about but he was self-aware though. He was like, hey man, I know this is really shitty, but can you guys go subscribe to my YouTube channel? And I'm like, no.
I'd rather they act oblivious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
some people don't know it's shitty to do that.
And I've done it before
We've all
when I
been
was
there.
when
We
I
all
was-
did
we've
it.
all
when I
been
was-
there.
Yep, absolutely. But it depends on how they go about it. Like if you absolutely say that this is dumb and then you do it anyway, you need better judgment. You just The other thing for me, Boom Byron mentioned it in chat. Spoilers on a story-based game. Don't post spoilers. And hardcore backseat gaming is the other thing I don't allow. Backseat gaming drives me nuts. I never finished my Borderlands 2 playthrough because I was getting backseated so hard. Why are you picking that skill? You should pick this skill. This one's much better. You should take that talent. To the point where viewers were arguing with each other in the chat about the right way to play Siren, and I'm like, can you guys stop being douchebags?
And Siren's one of those characters you could do anything with if you wanted to.
I was playing it as a single player game. It's just a shooter RPG. I can play however I want. I can do whatever I want. But dude, every single person that came in was like, "What's your build? You doing this? You should do this. Why are you using that gun? You should use this gun. This one shoots poison. Why aren't you?"
It doesn't
It's
even
even
matter in
worse.
that game. It's RNG. It's
I know.
completely randomly
Right.
generated
It was
guns.
horrible. I never finished the game. To this day, I haven't finished
Oh,
it because
fuck.
the
Well, it's
community
even
was
worse
just awful about
When
it.
they're in your Discord talking to you, and it wasn't my stream, but I'm just gonna say I can't do it. I can't do it.
You want to see Waffle Cone get triggered real fast? Get on Discord and tell him he's playing.
Yes, I
bad.
do.
Oh my gosh.
I don't play a lot of story-based games. You guys all know that, but
I thought you loved single player games.
I love to sit here. I love single-player games that are
I do love
competitive in
single-player
nature,
games.
not story-based. But I was playing A Way Out with our buddy Lord Gunslinger, Spielkind Facehugger, whatever his name happens to be today.
It's the full name.
We were playing A Way Out, and I personally don't give a shit about spoilers. I'm actually the kind of person who goes and spoils TV shows for themselves, by reading the synopses and stuff. I just do that. It's in my personality. I
You're
don't
the
like to
worst.
be
Weird, dude.
surprised. But so people are coming in and just flinging spoilers about this A Way Out, and I'm just like, somebody already said that 15 minutes ago. I don't give a shit. I'm still gonna play the game. Lord is not reading chat, not wanting the spoilers, but it's I don't personally care, but we're not gonna allow spoilers, so it's get the fuck out. How are you getting your jollies from that?
Yeah, you're
You're
ruining it
also
for viewers. At that.
Yeah, you're
point that don't
playing the
wanna
game.
spoil.
They might be wanting to watch it. They might
Exactly,
a
yeah,
lot of
that's
people
the
watch
thing,
games that they don't want to play. Like, and I think that you're
Detroit
actually a
Become
perfect
Human.
example of that, Fish. There's a lot of story games. You're like, I'm not gonna play this, but I love watching it.
Detroit
and you,
Become Human is one of the most fun viewing experience I've had on Twitch. Like
Yeah.
I love watching that game. I wouldn't be interested in playing it, but I loved watching it. It was great.
yeah. So you could
Did you get a lot of
totally
people
be
coming in for
spoiling
that Waffle Cone and trying to
Oh.
spoil the game
No,
for you?
you know, not really. I like they almost were like
Helpful. They seemed
tiptoeing the
helpful.
line. Yeah, they were super helpful. And there would be some people that would kind of tiptoe that line. They're like, no, but I don't want to ruin anything. It's almost like they wanted to almost like taunt me, saying I could destroy your life right now,
Right, yeah.
not to. But no, it was fun. I've had some mild spoilers with other games, and I probably put up with it a little more than I should. But if somebody just straight up came in and gave like a hard, like black and white, like end of the game spoiler, I'd be like, all right, you're gone. Because again, even if I didn't care, I feel like there might be some people that are walking along the story of this game with me as the person who's playing it, and they'll be like, really, dude? Like, I've been watching this guy play this game for 2 or 3 days, and you're just gonna come in here and say how this whole story ends. Like, I feel like that's crappy for the viewers as well. So
Yeah, there's a very quiet Ladders Down member named Ninkins, and she does a lot of blind streams, and it's really great to watch her. But there's been 1 or 2 times I've accidentally done spoilers because I didn't realize she was far enough along in the game, and I've been so incredibly thankful that her mod team timed me out. I was thankful to be timed out because I was like, shit, no, she's not there yet. And then I think like if you're going for a blind run, having a good mod team behind you is really essential, like incredibly essential. They'll read it before you do, and
Right.
so
Right.
that's one way to get around that. But I think overall it comes down to Twitch culture, like knowing that like self promotion is kind of frowned upon, unless you've been there for a long time, or it comes up in conversation, or they host you. That's one great way to get around not telling someone directly like, hey, go follow me. Just be like, here's a host, I appreciate you. Here, like I have a few offline viewers, so obviously I stream. I'm not just like one viewer host, so like there's a little bit of conclusion you have to draw there.
Here's the thing: just everybody get partnered, and then you just go into somebody's chat, and the purple check mark just
And
does
everyone
all
has
the
a
nothing
check
for
mark.
you. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, all right, guys, why hadn't we thought of this already?
We should all
You know
just get
what?
partnered.
Let's just
let's
get
talk
That's
partnered.
the
about
solution.
so
Let's do
simple.
it. Super easy.
All right,
See,
now that I've decided to get partnered, I'm gonna get.
I wouldn't mind having a quick side note about that, actually, because I've actually had this experience only once, and I don't want to sound negative, because I feel like it's got to be difficult for people who are partnered to go into streams. Like I remember Federal Ghost, wasn't he talking about how awkward it was?
Yeah, because he
to
just
have
got
it.
the
He's like,
check
I don't
mark,
know,
yeah.
man, it just feels weird, and I get that, because like I almost feel like I've had a partner, and I'm not going to name any names because I haven't had a lot in my stream, but I've had a handful, and I have one that came in, and it's almost weird. Like, I could tell they've been partnered for a long time, and I kind of followed them for a while, and I could tell maybe they were maybe a little bit higher up on the boards at one point and had maybe sunken a little bit low, and I could almost see some people struggling and going and finding some of these smaller, like, stronger affiliate communities, and almost hoping that, like, coming into a chat room will maybe be like, oh man, this will give me some good exposure and kind of help lift me to that point. And how do you feel about that? Like, if or when a partner were to come into your chat, like, is that something where you feel like you feel like most of the time they're 100% genuine, or do you ever feel like they're kind of hoping to maybe come in and maybe semi convert some of your friends and your followers to come to their channel?
I don't think I've ever felt that way about
I
any of the
mean-
partners that are in, but also like a lot of them I already knew.
Yeah.
Like, Geeks I knew before he was a partner. Fed I knew before he was a partner. Oakley's I knew before. Those are just some of the partners that come. Stratus B I knew before he was a partner. So I don't really feel that way specifically about anybody that comes in.
If you're gonna feel that way about the check mark, then I feel like people would have to feel the same way about me having TV in my name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, like it kind of goes hand in hand with having TV in your name. It's like
Yeah.
an upfront before you even talk way for people to know that you stream.
Yeah. I've never felt that. I mean, I had a partner come into my stream tonight that I've never met before, but
Yeah.
is part of another community that I've been hanging out with. And,
Mhm.
you know, he just said, "Hey man, I'm from this particular community. I wanted to say hello. I hope you have a wonderful stream. I'm going to throw you a lurk or whatever." And I had never met him before. And checkmark was in the name, but it doesn't bother me only because like if you've worked hard enough to like actually get partnered, like it's so hard to get
Yeah.
partnered. Like if I ever get partnered, I'm not taking my checkmark off.
You better
Right.
believe
I'm not
I'll
taking
have
my check mark off, you know what I mean? Because you can make it disappear if you want. You don't have to you
Yeah.
don't have to have it active in chat. But I've never felt bad about a partner doing that because man, they earned it. You
Yeah,
know what I
they
mean?
earned it. And there's always a chance they'll raid you, like if the times line up right. So it's like a mutually beneficial relationship if you become friends or co-followers with a partner.
No. I don't feel that way. But I've never had anyone handle it poorly either. I've never had a partner come in and like be a jerk.
yeah,
Or,
right.
You know, if I meet a new partner, they're normally pretty respectful. So
Right.
Can we get a big ladders down round of applause to Book Fairy, who just got the very first ban on twitch.tv/ladders down. Congratulations, Book Fairy. It's a big moment for all of us.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations on the ban. I saw
It's
that.
a banana bowl.
historic.
That's her out there.
Historic.
Congratulations, Book Fairy. Well done.
The
on
first
that
of
ban.
many. The first of many.
Yeah. Does that mean we're good now? Like
Yeah, that's it. No,
We've
we just know
arrived.
the one guy who was going to come in here and be an asshole. That was it. That was the only guy that's like that on Twitch. So
That's it. We're
congratulations to
done.
everybody.
Dude, he must have like a million alternate accounts that keep showing up to my channel.
It's just, you know what? We got to set up that email verification here, and that one guy, he just had to make infinite accounts.
Thank you, Book
Okay,
Fairy.
guys, are you ready for my game?
No.
we've
Oh
come
gosh,
to the
I'm
end of
terrified.
our
Actually,
have I had enough whiskey for
podcast
this?
Here, our
Maybe too much.
episode 3.
Yeah.
We're gonna pit streamer versus streamer in a little game that I like to call Tag, Not a Tag. I'm sure that all of you,
I
don't
see
know.
where this is going.
I'm sure that all of you have spent hours, countless hours, sweating in front of your computer, reading through the extensive list of Twitch tags.
Haven't
that
used
are
a single
available
one.
to all of us.
haven't we
streamers
looked
now.
at one
Haven't used
other
a
than
single
So-
visual ASMR?
Everybody knows.
We know that one.
Waffle, I'm happy that you're enjoying the visual ASMR
Oh,
aspect of my stream.
More than you probably want to know. To be honest.
So we're gonna play a little game tonight. It's gonna pit you three against each other in a game that I'm calling Tag, Not a Tag. We're gonna start here to my left with Gamer Heroin.
Fuck.
Gamer Heroin, you ready?
Okay.
That's it. We good? We got two
Discord.
people frozen.
Yeah, hang on.
Is it
Discord's
me?
completely
Okay.
freezing. Like Discord's freezing up.
What's
Uh-oh.
Discord?
I have everybody frozen. All three of you are frozen. I don't know
Is
what's
this-
happening.
Everyone's frozen for everyone.
I don't know what's happening.
Fuck.
Oh man! Oh yeah, it's really bad for me right now. Actually, what the hell? Oh, Discord does not want us to play this game.
Discord
Yeah,
does
it looks
not
like
want us
one
to play
bar
this
for
game.
me.
All right, I'm gonna let's. I'm
All
gonna
right,
Discord-
we're all good
we're
now.
good.
Oh, we're good. Okay, everything. Okay,
Okay.
good.
We're back.
Gamer Heroin, are you ready to play Tag, Not a Tag?
Ready to lose. Let's go.
Okay. Your first tag is endurance training. Tag, not a tag.
Tag.
Tag, that's correct. Endurance training is an available tag on Twitch.
Other gamer
let's
heroine.
Go over to Waffle Cone. Waffle Cone. Pottery. Tag, not a tag.
Just pottery. Just the single word of pottery.
Pottery. Tag, not a tag.
It's totally a tag.
I'm sorry,
Totally.
Waffle Cone. That was a tag that I made up.
That
is
is
not a tag.
bull crap. They removed it. I saw it.
That is not a tag. All right.
That's a bunch of garbage. Hold on.
What a bunch of
That's a bunch of
garbage.
garbage. That's a bunch of garbage. All right, I'm done.
No Dice TV. Finance. Tag, not a tag.
Tag.
That is indeed a tag available on Twitch TV. All right,
Finance. Y'all want to watch me balance my checkbook?
We're going into round 2. Gamer Heroin. Screen printing. Tag, not a tag.
Not a tag.
That is not a tag. That is not a tag.
Screen printing. What?
It's a thing.
She gets screen printing. I get pottery.
Waffle Cone. Aviation. Tag, not a tag.
Not a tag.
It is not a tag. That is a tag that I made up.
Ding ding ding.
That's a tag that Storm made up.
Here.
That's what you mean. That's a
We
tag
need
that
to
Storm.
have sound effects for sure. No dice. Gardening. Tag, not a tag.
Tag.
Ooh.
That is indeed a tag. That is
Ding, ding,
indeed
ding.
a tag. Gamer Heroin. You and No Dice are tied after 2 rounds. Tied after 2 rounds. Gamer Heroin. Magic tricks. Tag, not a tag.
Tag.
That is indeed a tag. Yes. You can search all of Twitch for magic tricks if you guys want. If you guys
Seriously though, why is pottery not a tag? There's gotta be just hundreds.
There's
Hundreds of
there's
people.
there's a Facebook streamer that just does pottery. My wife loves it.
See,
She
I
watches
would
this
totally
dude.
watch that.
She watched this
Opportunity.
dude make the same cup 50 times, and every one of them is exactly the same. He's amazing.
You know what I'm gonna do?
It
My
should
next
be a tag.
stream, I'm gonna watch that famous scene from Ghost, and I'm gonna find a way to tag pottery. Do it. Okay, anybody that's like under 30 has no idea what I'm talking
Dude, Patrick Swayze, come on, man.
about. All right.
Waffle Cone.
Yeah. Let me
Acting.
lose.
Tag, not a tag.
Acting?
Acting.
That's not a tag.
It is not a tag. That is not a tag. Very good. No dice. Mixed martial arts. Tag,
Yeah.
not a tag.
Ooh. Endurance training was one.
That's not the question.
I'm gonna
Please get some context.
I'm gonna say tag.
It is a tag. Mixed
Oof.
martial arts is a tag. But if you're streaming the pay-per-view event, you should do it under just chatting, because it's a lot easier to find if you do that. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Just kidding. Disclaimer, I was just kidding. Gamer Heroin.
Oh.
Mindfulness. Tag, not a tag.
Ooh, that's a weird one.
Not a tag.
It is a tag.
Damn
Mindfulness
it!
is a tag.
No dice, you have to get
Alright.
the next question wrong, please and thank you.
We're gonna go around and finish, and then we're gonna do one more, and whoever's winning after that is gonna be our winner. Waffle Cone, Mr. Waffle Cone. Crochet. Tag, not a tag.
I've never seen this
That's
man
a tag.
think
That's
so
a tag.
I'm sorry, Waffle. What was that?
That's a tag. It's a
I'm
tag.
sorry. That is not.
No, you're not sorry.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
say you're sorry, you
It is
disingenuous piece of crap.
a tag.
I knew it's knitting and crochet.
I want a half a point. I want a half a point, please. For the judges, please award a half a point to Mr. Waffle Cone, Puppy, Gamer Heroin, please.
Wow.
No dice. 18 plus. Tag, not a tag.
I don't know if it's I would think it would be a tag, but I'm not sure because you can set the channel to 18 and over. I'm gonna say tag.
It is not a tag.
Okay.
That is a tag that I.
Oh, I'm in last, so though. It
made
doesn't
up.
matter.
You could tie. It could be a 3-way tie. And if there's one thing
No.
that I would
No,
love to
he's
see,
lost too.
it's a 3-way between you guys. So
Wait.
let's go back to Gamer Heroin.
Okay.
Gamer Heroin. Let's find a really good one for you. GH.
Don't stroke your chin like that ever again, please.
Carnival.
Not while you're wearing that face.
Carnival. Tag, not a tag.
Ooh.
That's oh god. That's like a nice middle road. I'm gonna say not a tag.
It is not a tag. Congratulations, that is not a tag. We're back to Waffle Cone. Waffle Cone, restoration. Tag, not a tag.
What?
Restoration.
Whatever. Let's just the tag.
It is not a tag. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Okay, no dice. This is for the tie. You're gonna need this one to tie Gamer Heroin. No dice TV. Reading aloud. Tag, not a tag.
That's a tag.
That is indeed a tag. Do we need, chat? Do we need to have a tag off between GH
Sudden
and
death.
No Dice? Sudden death, first one to miss. Yeah, we're gonna have to. It's 4-4. We're gonna have to have a sudden death round here.
Tag off.
Gamer
Tag
Heroin.
off.
Psychology tag, not a tag.
Tag.
That is not a tag. I'm sorry, GH. That is
Match
not
point.
A tag.
Match point.
Here we go. Match
Fuck.
point for No Dice TV.
Give him a hard one.
No Dice. Carving. Tag, not a tag.
Not a tag.
Not a tag. No Dice TV is our winner of our little game tonight. Tag, not a tag. Congratulations, No Dice.
That's a fantastic game. Fish. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was fantastic, dude. You didn't even. It was a complete surprise. That was so much fun.
Excellent. Yeah, these guys didn't know about this game at all, by the way.
Nope.
Because if I would have even hinted at what I was going to do, you guys would have been all over that freaking tags list.
I've
Yeah.
used tags like 5 times.
I
This
still
is
went
good.
up
We
that
need
wrong.
we need more like Twitch-based
I'm going to
trivia
try
games.
to do something, maybe Twitch themed, some kind of little game that we can all play. I think that would be a great way to end every episode. Speaking of end every episode, there's nothing from the Peanut Gallery or any of you guys. We want to continue on. I think that we've completed episode 3 of After Dark, the Ladders Down podcast.
Hell yeah.
Feels good, man.
As
Feels good,
always,
man.
guys, check out our Discord. We have a nice little command with all of our links in there. You should also check us out on the Ladders Down Discord. Ladders Down is a community of streamers, by streamers, for streamers. We answer questions on there, support each other, and post the occasional meme. We do have a certain quota of memes. We can't exceed that quota, obviously.
Certain quota.
But, thank you guys so much, everybody out there. We're gonna toss the host here in just a minute. So I forgot to say it last time, but I said it in chat. So everybody out there is subscribed to No Dice TV and to Waffle Cone and to Gamer Heroin and to me and to so many other great streamers and Ladders Down. So when we toss this host tonight, I want to see pages and pages of emote spam of all the
Pages.
great emotes that are in Ladders Down. So get those emotes ready. Guys, 2 weeks until 2 weeks. My name is Fshsuit, FSHSUIT. You can find me on Twitch or on Twitter. GH.
My name is FSH. No, my name is Gamer Heroin. You can find me at Gamer Heroin. Twitch.tv. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Wait, what?
Twitch.tv. It's a thing. You're on it currently.
Heroin.
I am Waffle Cone. You can obviously find me at twitch.tv. On Twitter, I am wafflecone_. But that's it. But it's been fun hanging out.
And I am No Dice TV on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.
Thank you guys so much
That's
for tuning
real
in.
Gamer
Get your
Heroin.
emotes ready. We're about to toss this host down.
Who's getting it?
We're gonna toss the host, I think, to that's good for you, GH. All right,
Yep.
we're gonna toss the host
Let's
over
do
to our
it.
buddy Senpai Stanny Poo. I typed his name wrong there because I'm wearing Wario gloves. No dice. That's why. Sen.
You can just call
Hi,
him
Stan
Stan. He's a
Poo.
wonderful
playing a
person.
little Dota
Very
too right
active.
now, which I know is mine and Waffle Cone's very favorite game. Let's show Senpai some love, you guys, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Get your butts, get your shoe ass, get your waffle cups, get your no dices ready, and all the others beyond that.
All right. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.